Squirrels. Today's guest on Blind Squirrel Talk, famous in a small town, is military veteran Justin Bryson. Justin is the man responsible for that tantalizing smell of barbecue that graces the downtown Maysville, Georgia area. Justin will share how he became an award-winning pitmaster and lessons he's learned along the way. We are so excited for you to meet Justin Bryson.
Also, don't forget to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Blind Squirrel Talk and on X at Blind Squirrel PC. If you enjoy the show, please remember to leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Plus, if you write us a review there or leave us a comment on Spotify or YouTube, we'll read it out on a future episode of the show.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Blind Squirrel Talk. I'm Lulu.
I'm Kim.
I'm so excited. We have Justin Bryson from Bryson's Barbecue right here in the little town of Maysville, Georgia. So thank you for coming out today.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
And we're so excited. It's the best barbecue ever. So if you haven't had the barbecue, you got to come out. Bryson's Barbecue. So I guess we got to back up and start somewhere. So what do you think?
Tell us what brought you to our community.
Yeah.
What brought me to Maysville? Well, I was in the Air Force. I joined the Air Force in 2007. This might be a little long-winded.
No, do it.
I was in the Air Force, joined in 2007. I went to Texas where I learned about smoking with all wood. Because I called myself the grill master, so I would grill steaks, burgers. I was the guy. I was the go-to grill master. And then one day I was watching Food Network, and it was a barbecue show, and I was like, what in all God's name is happening right now? They're taking 20 hours, 15 hours to do this? And I got to try it. I got to see what it all fuss is about. I did it one time on a little $20 grill from Walmart. I got some charcoals, put it on one side, got a Boston butt, put it on the other, added some wood chips, and 20 hours later, my life changed forever.
Wow.
The food was amazing, the pork, the way it just fell off, but the main thing was the look on everyone's face when they ate it. They were like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Been doing this a while, no big deal. You know, that was the best feeling in the world. I love doing that, making people happy, making people smile, making them feel good and enjoy themselves.
So Maysville, and you could have settled in any other town anywhere in the whole world, and you chose this little town.
Yes. After my stint in the Air Force and traveling around, I had kids, started having kids. We have 4 beautiful kids, Malachi, Titus, Honora, and Dominic, all from the same woman. I wanted somewhere that I could raise my kid that was wholesome, but also somewhere that they're going to be able to have a sense of community. So we lived in places like Tampa, Atlanta, Philadelphia, but those places are so not shut off from the world. It's just so much. Here, I feel like they have a chance to become their own person. So we built a house in Commerce originally, my first house ever, built a house in Commerce, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It was very amazing. My kids started going to school. And then things started happening with the market around 2021, and we were able to sell our house at a good price. And everyone was like, don't sell your house because you can't find another one. Well, we were looking, and then we said, well, what is this little blink of a town you go through? I was like, I saw some pretty good-looking houses. We rode around, and lo and behold, we found a beautiful house for sale in one of the communities here in Maysville, and we fell in love with it, and were able to purchase it right then and there. Well, not right then and there. It takes time, obviously, but we bought the house and have not looked back since. We loved everything about what we saw here. Small town, like what we wanted. It seemed like everyone knows everybody type of town, which has its pros and cons. But everybody knows your stuff. But at the same time, like I said, for my kids' sake and also for my peace of mind, I live in the type of place that I don't have to feel like, oh, did we lock all the doors? Did we, do this, do this? I feel like I don't have to do that I don't have to worry every second of the day. So Maysville, the nicest people. People are waving at you when you drive by. You don't get that everywhere you go. You might get people waving something at you, but it's not usually a nice thing. So we just
where did you come from, Commerce, and where were you prior to that?
Well, I can give you the stint. We'll start at the beginning and go back. So born in Athens. Moved to Homer in the year 2000, moved to a place called Pell City, Alabama in 2001, Birmingham, Alabama in 2005, I joined the Air Force 2007, moved to Texas, and then Montgomery, Alabama, then Tampa, Florida, then Gainesville, Florida.
This is all in the Air Force.
This is all during the Air Force. Tampa, Florida, then Gainesville, Florida. Met my wife in Gainesville, Florida, and then we moved outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for about a year, and then we moved back to Athens for a year, then Douglasville.
Oh gosh.
And then I got out of the military for a brief time, thinking, oh well, I'm done with it, you know. And then after a year in the regular workforce, I was like, nope, not for me. Just back to what I know. Went back to the Air Force. Then we moved to Tampa. From Tampa to Tifton. Then I got out of the Air Force again. I was a DoD civilian employee in the Air Force Reserves at that point. Moved to Tifton. From Tifton to Commerce to Maysville. And that's it.
Are you planning to stay here forever?
I've never been somewhere as long as we've been in Maysville. Maybe when I was born, but this is the longest we've ever been somewhere. We know people. I know people. People know me. They wave. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like a TV show, which is what raised me, you know?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about starting the barbecue restaurant.
Well, one thing I noticed about Maysville initially was that we moved in Super Bowl night, and I noticed immediately that you can't buy beer in Maysville. Did not do that research beforehand. I thought maybe, the gas stations must have got in trouble, lost their license because there's no beer in here. Let me go to the other one. None here too? Wait a minute. And then I Googled it and I was, maybe I should have did that prior, but it's all right. It's all right.
Do your due diligence.
Didn't do my due diligence, but it was all right. So I ended up driving to Banks Crossing. Well, then I live in Maysville. I go to Banks Crossing for my beer. I got to go to Banks Crossing for my food. And I don't put anyone down, but I don't want to eat McDonald's and Wendy's, and I mean those things are fine, I understand, but I wanted to eat something good, and I was like, I bet the people here also would like something besides Banks Crossing. So I one day just got my smoker, talked to the city, said, can I set my smoker on a Friday night? Set it on a Friday night. The next morning, had my tent set up with the tables, just had a sign that said barbecue and the smell of Maysville, and I sold out in about 2 hours. And that was March 16th, 2022.
Wow.
And every Saturday for 9 months, I did that and sold out in hours.
They were lined. I remember seeing you out there, and
We
they were
were
lined
some of them.
up.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it was that feeling of people are like, oh man, this is so good bar, and then repeat. They're coming back again, and when it rains, I was like, oh, it's raining, but some people still come up. Okay, this is fine. You know, what'd be really good is if we got a place. Then when it rains, people still come in, and lo and behold, met Lulu, talked to Lulu, and haven't turned back ever since. We've been doing barbecue at 9155 Gillsville Road ever since, and we opened up October 31st. We got our health inspection. We finally got our health inspection cleared. October 31st, we opened up 2022.
Nice.
So we absolutely love it.
One thing I find interesting about your barbecue is you don't season it. Is that correct?
Well, I do season it, but I season it very lightly.
Okay.
I take a Texas-style approach. So in Texas, it's dry rubs, which that's what I use as well, dry rubs. Texas is, I'm not going to say all of them, but mostly you'll hear them it's just salt and pepper and post oak mesquite. Those are Texas flavors. We're from Georgia. We live in Georgia. That's not going to cut it in Georgia. I know Georgia. I know what people love and like. Pecan, or pecan, depending on where you're from. So we got pecan, white oak, all local. From the Jackson and Banks County area. Get fresh shipments in every week and smoking that. My seasoning, I'll use some salt, pepper, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, a little celery salt, brown sugar. That's Georgia. Now, that's a lot of different ingredients, but I'll probably use on a 10-pound Boston butt around, let's say, 3 tablespoons. So not very much seasoning, but you put it in. My smoker's all wood, all night, live fire. That smoke goes to reverse flow smoker. That smoke seeps into it. Those flavors complement the smoke, not the other way around. Some of these other restaurants, like I said, not saying anything bad about them. You have Sonny's Barbecue. They have smoked food because there is smoke that goes on it, but it's not true all wood smoked
It's
barbecue.
liquid smoke. Or maybe they had a fire in the kitchen.
They will. They have some wood. It's more like an oven that has some wood that gets hot and then that smoke goes on it. Whereas mine is just fire, metal, meat.
Nice.
And people seem to love it. It is quite addicting. I don't sprinkle crack on it, although some people may disagree.
Well, tell us about your sides, because your slaw is second to none, and I've never tried anything quite like it.
Well, I appreciate that. That is one of our specialties. I take fresh red cabbage, fresh green cabbage, broccoli, florets. Is that what it's called? Florets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so smart.
Florets. I don't know.
Florets. Brussels sprouts. I chop them daily, and we have a sweet Vidalia onion sauce that we mix in with it instead of mayo. So everything it's very colorful, and it bursts. It tastes like summertime. That's what I think. And the people around seem to absolutely love it.
They
So.
do, along with the pecan cornbread.
Oh yes, we have the
that's
pecan
my
cornbread.
favorite. My favorite. I had never. You would think, being in the South, I've never had
hadn't
pecan
either,
cornbread.
I can't
like
even
that,
take
ever.
I can't even take credit. My wife just said, "Ooh, I saw something. I want to do something called pecan cornbread," and I was like, "Pecan cornbread? Go for it, honey." As you should, just say yes. I learned that lesson
You always
early in
say
marriage.
that to
Yep.
your wife?
Learned that lesson early in marriage, so I just said, "Go ahead," and so she did, and wow,
It's a hit. It's a hit.
it is another hit. You can get barbecue from anywhere almost, but when you come to Bryson's barbecue, it's those specialties, those little flares: the pecan cornbread, the sweet Vidalia slaw, our white cheddar mac and cheese, and the environment that you get. That you might get a little banter from my wife and I, or some other people if they're working in the place. But we know our customers, and our customers know us, and it kind of just feels like you're at a family cookout. Every time you come in, we like that feel of we know you, you know us. This is not a corporate setting. We're just here to have good food and enjoy company. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also like the banana pudding.
that
It's-
is another.
it's
My
on.
wife again. See the meats, all me, 100% me. All the sides and dessert, that is my wife. My wife, she does
She's
them.
the bomb.
She's the bomb. She's the bomb.com.
Okay, now 4 kids. Have you put them to work yet? Do they help you?
They do.
Do they want it now? Because see, I will drive by, like we'll be out or whatever. It'll be, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you look down the road, and there's Justin outside sitting by the smoker. So are you in the doghouse when I see that? Or what are you doing when it's like 2 in the morning? You're sitting out there. What is that about?
Well, I like to smoke because it takes so long to smoke the meat
Mm-hmm.
to get that good flavor. I'll start usually in the middle of the night. It serves 2 purposes. Purpose 1 is I'm able to get the barbecue going, get it flowing. Maysville smells like barbecue. It
Yes,
doesn't smell
it
just like barbecue. It
does.
smells like Bryson's barbecue. Very specific smell. But also it gives me time to make sure the food is ready because you don't know. I can't say, it takes me about 8 hours to do a Boston butt. Sometimes maybe, but like last night, the wind was going pretty hard. It was raining pretty hard. So the Boston butt's cooking different. There's humidity. So I have to sit outside with it, watch that fire, watch that temperature, make sure everything goes. It's the best time to catch up on TV shows and audiobooks. That's my favorite part. Everyone in town's asleep for the most part. And it's just me out there listening to music, watching, just doing my thing. I just absolutely love it.
Do you ever sleep?
I do. I remember. Sleeping is a difficult thing to do for anyone that's starting a business, especially at a restaurant, because it is 100% a 24/7 job. But barbecue serves it's a little different because you have so long to cook it, sometimes 15, 16, 17 hours, and then serve it. So I'll sometimes put some wood in, make sure my grease is good, and then I'll go to sleep for 30 minutes. Sometimes it's outside. I once went to sleep inside, and the smoker caught on fire. So
Okay, tell us this story. This sounds like a story to me.
this was November 12th, 2022.
Oh, you've only been open for a month.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Okay, now these
And-
smokers are not cheap. I'm
Oh, they are
thinking.
not cheap.
Yeah,
They
like
are not
I'm
cheap.
sure that my first house didn't cost as much as your smoker. I'm pretty sure.
It is quite a big smoker, and I was inside. Everything was going normal, but one thing I did not anticipate was the wheel on my smoker, which is built. It's a trailer smoker, It's not a smoker on a trailer. It's literally the smoker's built into the trailer. So the wheel had flattened. I did not know that. When the wheel flattened, the position of the smoker fell towards the firebox. So all the grease was going to the firebox instead of out the drain hole.
No.
Well, it did not take very long for that grease to catch on fire and to drip out onto the smoker, and all the meat catch on fire.
Oh, no.
I looked out the window. I wasn't even asleep. I was literally inside playing Madden 2022. I was playing Madden. And I was like, man, that's a lot of smoke. And I walked outside and saw the flames and had a mild heart attack. I'd say my first one. And luckily, per the health department and building inspectors, I did have a fire extinguisher. I had never used a fire extinguisher to that point. And all those lessons you learn went right out the window. I couldn't get it to spray. I know that you have to pull. Didn't pull. I attempted to beat the fire with the extinguisher. That didn't work. Then I was like, oh yeah, the pin. Then I was able to put everything out. We did lose all the food that night.
Oh, no.
Which was absolutely
devastating. Sure, that's a lot of money.
It was.
It's a lot of money.
There was
And a lot of disappointed people in Maysville the next day.
There were. There was a couple that was going inside of the Mini Shug, which was located 2 doors down from us at the time. And they saw what was going on, and I told them, yeah, we lost everything. The meat, brisket, ribs, but everything was toast. And this couple brought me back 4 Boston butts.
Oh my gosh.
They brought me
they
back 4
really?
Boston butts, and I was able to get one of my mini smaller smokers from home and put the Boston butts in those, and we were able to smoke them up. So the next day, Sunday, we were able to still serve some Boston butts, which still did sell out, but those Maysville citizens really, that was one of the first times we were like, I know we chose the right place, because where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Where people are going to treat you that way?
Nowhere.
I mean, they saw what happened. They don't know me from Adam. And they said, we have some Boston butts at home. We're going to bring them to you. And they brought me 4 Boston butts, and we were able to serve and sell them, and we can't thank those people enough. And they're still regulars in our restaurant.
Oh,
That's
that's Maysville.
That is.
And that's
That is.
Maysville. And you may not know this, but there's a guy in town, and he used to be a famous horse jockey, and he, I'll speak to him when he comes up and down the street in his golf cart occasionally. And do you know? Now think about everything he's seen, traveled the world, everything this man's done. Do you know what he said his favorite thing in the world? The only thing he looks forward to is going to your restaurant.
Bryson's Barbecue.
Yeah. And then when he comes back up, apparently you must do something special for him that you don't do for the rest of the public, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what is that?
Well, we give him. He served in the military, and he's also an amazing, awesome guy.
Yeah.
He's really, really awesome.
He's got some stories.
He has, and he was one of our first customers as well when we were in the tents. He would tell us, "Oh, I had some barbecue down the road. It was garbage. Your barbecue's so good."
Yeah.
So, and he comes in almost faithfully every week, and will buy a pound of pork, and sometimes a pound of brisket, pound of pork. He's got a special price. It's also his 96th birthday,
Oh my word! I had
didn't
no
know
idea.
that.
May 16th.
I did not. Is
And-
it really?
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
Are we
May
having a
16th.
party?
We should. Let's do.
Look, I think we definitely should.
should.
We definitely should. This gentleman is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we make it fresh for him. He comes in before everybody. He comes in before the rush.
I see him drive his golf cart on the sidewalk, push everybody else's stuff out of the way to get to your door.
gets there.
He's hilarious.
He gets there. He's an amazing gentleman, and he comes in. He gets early access, and of course discounted.
Yeah.
Discounted barbecue, of
That's
course.
so awesome. Tell us about the award you won last year.
Ooh.
Well, last year we won Best in Georgia regional for barbecue restaurants, barbecue joints. I believe the contest, there was well over 50 barbecue restaurants in our region, and we were the top in the region, which says so much because a lot of our customers, they had to go on and vote. It was an overall amazing effort, and we were told in the letter that we had the most in the region, but not enough to be considered the best in Georgia overall because there just wasn't that many votes. But when you think about Maysville, Georgia,
Population 2,800.
with all those red lights we have,
That many?
We are now.
I thought it was 530.
No,
Maybe that's in the city.
Yes.
How many in the city?
In the voting population.
Yeah,
of
500
Maysville
something,
is
yeah.
2,800.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Which is amazing.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
But we were able to accomplish something like the best barbecue joint in the region, which was breathtakingly. I mean, it was really amazing. It's a great feeling, to think of all the other and there were some people on the list that came in, a little lower than us. I'm not bragging, but
You should
You should
brag.
brag.
That is
I
something to
am
brag about.
bragging.
Okay, how did they tell you? They send you something in the mail? Did Ed McMahon knock on your front door? Was a drone deliver you $1 million? How does this happen?
well, we got an email initially, an email saying that we won one of the following, either best in Georgia, best in region, or honorable mention. And I thought, surely it's an honor to be honorable mention because these are barbecue places all over Georgia, Atlanta included.
And very well established for
very
years
well
and
established.
years.
You have Rodney Scott's Barbecue. I mean, there's so many really, really amazing barbecue restaurants. There really are. And so we thought, at least an honorable mention for little old Maysville, we are putting it on the map, baby. And then the next email we got was that we won best in the region. I almost passed out.
Okay, who read the email first? You or
I
your wife?
read the email first. I think I was not driving. My phone dinged. I looked at my phone and was like, "Whoa, whoa!" No, I was not driving.
Of course, you were not
I was
driving.
not driving. But I read that and I was almost just breathless. I was, what do you do? Wow, that means so much because that means all of our customers that come through voting for us, people, everywhere. It's really an amazing feeling. And then I called Meredith immediately, like, "Oh my gosh, check the email, we couldn't mention anything. This was around October, we found out. We couldn't mention anything till December 12th.
No.
Oh yeah, so it was very hard to hold that in.
Yeah, let me just tell everybody at home. He did not tell us. We did not know. How could now? If that had happened to us,
Oh, I'd be
I would have been on the phone
We'd
2
all know.
minutes. Yeah, forget it.
Guess what?
Don't tell anybody. I've only told 50 other people, but don't tell anybody. So how did you keep that a secret for 2 months?
It is really hard to keep it a secret from. I tried to
Did your
just.
kids know?
They did not know.
Did your family know? Your
Nope.
in-laws,
Didn't
parents?
didn't tell anyone. Initially, I just kept it in the back of my head and said, "All right, that is an amazing feat, great accomplishment. Let's not drop the ball. Let's just keep pushing." And then,
Were you floating on a cloud?
floating on cloud
Yeah.
9.
Yeah.
Oh yes, certainly, extremely high on cloud 9.
So when were you allowed to tell people?
It was not until December 12th. So on December 12th, we had stuff written up and scheduled to post out. I didn't want to break any rules. I didn't want to jeopardize
Right.
anything, as this was my first award.
Why did they
for a
have you
restaurant.
wait so long? I'm just curious because everybody must have known, all the winners.
All the winners did. Some broke the rules where they would post, but I know that the Georgia Business Journal, I think that's what they call it. I'm sorry. They scoured the internet, making sure that people were, following the rules. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be a rule breaker. I'm a straight and narrow
Why
kind of
not?
guy.
It's fun to be a rule breaker.
So I didn't want to jeopardize anything, but it was once it got out, it was a relief, and also the feedback we got. I mean, it was incredible. It was like everyone in Maysville that had a Facebook had commented and liked and shared. It was really amazing. That was just this past December.
Well, we're so proud. Just like you're proud, we're proud that you're,
That you're
here
here.
with us.
That you're here.
Yes.
So when did you go to Meredith and say, "Look, hon, I think I want to start a barbecue business," or did she say, "You know what, you need to start"? I mean, how did that transition occur, and like whose idea was it really? And did one of y'all have to push the other one and say, "No, are you sure? Can we do this?" I mean, how did that whole thing take place?
It was my idea originally. I was taking some online classes through the VA about businesses, just because it was free. I had already thought about doing something in Maysville, at this point, because we'd lived here for just 3 months. But like I said, if I'm tired of driving, and I've only lived here for 3 months, I'm sure there's at least 100 other people that are also tired of it. So I went to Meredith because I barbecue a lot. I've got a very big family, 5 sisters, 3 brothers, and we all have at least 3 kids.
Wow.
So there's a lot of grandkids, a lot of cousins. So when I barbecue, I'm used to barbecuing for a crowd. So that's nothing really new. And everyone always says how good it is, families, friends, stuff like that. I wanted to see if they were lying or if maybe it really was good, because I don't know. I'm just doing it, something I love to do. And talked to Meredith and said, hey, what do you think about trying to sell some barbecue? Because who doesn't want a little extra money?
Right.
Since COVID in 2020, I had a lot more work from home time. So while working from home, I was like, what am I going to do? What is there, So barbecue, why not? Started barbecuing, and then went to Meredith, like I said, talked about it, and she said, oh, that's a good idea, great idea, because, we can do this extra, that. And she was like, oh, I can make the sides. And immediately, she was on board immediately with the pecan cornbread, the sweet potato slaw. She's just popping out all these ideas that I'm like, roll down there, horsey. Let's just talk about let's talk about, let's get everything else together here. She was immediately on board. She helped me set up my LLC, and she's really been there through the entire process. And barbecuing is my passion. She knows that it's my passion. And so she's always been my biggest cheerleader in doing it, even though it definitely means being gone, sleeping at the restaurant. I've got a cot at the restaurant, it means a lot of on the road, a lot of communicating with other people and sending stuff up. She's never shied away and stuck with me. So really, from the military to barbecue, it's like that same sort of I might be gone,
Right.
kind of lifestyle. And she's been, like I said, my biggest fan and a humongous support. So
You're a lucky guy.
Yeah.
I am most of the time.
What do the kids think about their daddy being a barbecue pit master? Is that the correct term, pit master?
That is.
Okay.
I am Maysville's pit master.
Yes,
the
you
pit
are.
master of Maysville. They love it. They definitely love to help at the restaurant, sweeping, putting chips out, eating chips. They're often, I wouldn't say all the time, but they're at the restaurant a good enough amount of time that most of our regulars know our kids.
Right.
They know of them. They see them. They know their names. Like I said, we love that feeling.
We'll see you again real soon.
Bye.
Bye.